Once again, I have chosen to let fate decide my TBR. Hi, I'm Elena. I'm a librarian. My sister Erin edits our videos, and our channel is about books, it's about beauty, it's about lifestyle. Today it's about fate. Behind me, you will see my beautiful TBR board. I have repurposed the hutch where I do my reading journal updates. The last time I did this was in March, and it was a huge success. I love having someone else pick my TBR, and I ended up having my best reading month ever in March because of the TBR board. So I have a good feeling that it's going to work out for me again for June. The top row and the middle row represent series that I'm in the middle of. A couple of them are series I haven't started yet, but I already own them, so I want to read them. The second and fourth row are my physical TBR, so books that I own and haven't read yet. We all have those. And the last row are prompts. Most of them correlate to my book bingo board in my reading journal, but some are just random. So just some fun prompts. And last time I had a big old plastic spinning prize wheel, but this time I thought I would make it easier on us and just use a random wheel generator app. And I'll screen record this so you can see. I will spin the wheel, it'll pick a number 1 through 10, and that will tell me which card to pull out. I'm going to go through every row twice, so I'll end up with 10 books total. And when I pull the card, it's a little scratch off. See? You can get these scratch off stickers on Amazon really cheap. I happen to already have a bunch of them. I use them in my library, so I slapped some scratch off cards so it will be a surprise. You'll notice some of these are different colors. That's because I obviously took out all of the ones that I drew in March. So I already scratched them off, I don't need them anymore. And I replaced them with cards that have books I have hauled in the last month. And I made them pink so I can kind of tell them apart. And then I figure the next time I do this, I'll use another color. And by the end of the year, it'll be all colorful. And it kind of helps me see, the purple ones are books that have been on my TBR for the longest. And it'll help me get through those faster, in theory. That's what I'm thinking anyway. And another piece to this puzzle, there are some purple cards in here that if I draw them, I might have already read them because Erin's puppy picked my TBR in April. So those books didn't get scratched off, but they might still be on the board. If that happens, I created a little backup plan. In this adorable mug that I thrifted, there are some more scratch-off cards, and they have books that were recommended to me by our viewers, which I think is cool. And there are also some cards that represent books I have the audiobook version of. So it's not a physical TBR, but I still own them and want to get through them. So if I draw a card and it turns out to be one I've already read, I'll just swap it out for a card that's in this mug. All right, let's do this. Card number 1. Okay, we got 9. So that's this one. The first book on my TBR will be continuing a series that I've already started called The Burning Kingdoms by Tasha Suri. The first book in this series is called The Jasmine Throne, and I loved it. It's basically about a princess and a maidservant who have forbidden magical powers. A lot of political intrigue, a little bit of romance, and I really liked that first book. I think I gave it 4 stars, so I'm really excited to continue the series. The second book is called The Oleander Sword. Am I saying that right? I think so. The Oleander Sword. What is Oleander? I don't know. It will be really good to make progress in that series, especially because that series is one that I'm tracking in my reading journal, which means when I read it, I'll get to color in a little square on that spread. So what could be more exciting than that? Book number 2. We have 1. Oh, it's a pink one. Book number 2. Oh my God. I know Erin's going to be pumped. Literally right before I started filming, I was talking to Erin on the phone and she was like, hey, it seems like a lot of people really like that Godkiller book. I bet we would like it. And I was like, yeah, I've been hearing that too. Well, guess what? It's happening. Godkiller. Ugh, I should take that sticker off. Obviously, I bought this at Target. I've heard really good things about this fantasy story. Enter a land of gods and monsters, soldiers and mercenaries, secrets and wishes. The explosive #1 internationally best-selling fantasy debut in a new trilogy for fans of The Witcher and Gideon the Knight. I absolutely love the Witcher series, so I have a really good feeling about this. High hopes. This is predicted to be a 5-star read for me. Book 3. Number 10. Oh, I almost thought it was another pink one, but I just can't count. It's purple. The next book is ACOTAR. Y'all, okay, just to be clear, I have read ACOTAR, like the first in ACOTAR, and the second and the third. I read A Court of Wings and Ruin, I think in like February of this year or something. I don't know, kind of recently. And to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if I was going to continue the series, but I do feel like it's one that you need to read them all to be able to compare other romantasy books to them, you know? So the one that I'm on is A Court of Frost and Starlight. Isn't that one like a holiday special or something? If I'm wrong, I'm going to be so disappointed. But I will read that this month. It's time. Okay, and roll 4. 5. This next book is a bummer because The Lost Bookshop, I actually just lent that book out to someone. Like someone is borrowing it from me, so I don't have it in my possession right now, and I just gave it to them, so I don't want to immediately ask for it back. So I decided to do a swap out for this one and pull a card out of the backup mug. I pulled a viewer recommendation card, and we got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This was recommended to us in the comment section of one of our recent shorts. The person who recommended it, their handle is Brinley Grace. So thank you, Brinley Grace, because I've heard, people love this series. I don't know if it's going to be my jam. Let me look up a quick synopsis. Okay, YA mystery crime series. Really good reviews. People seem to love it. I actually think I could love this. So that's going on the TBR. Book number 5. 2. Okay, next I drew the prompt, a book everyone has read. So for this, I think I'm going to read Daisy Jones and the Six. I found this in a little free library a few months back, and everyone has read this book. Everyone has read this book except me. So I think this is the perfect pick for this prompt. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The only other Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I have read is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I sort of have mixed feelings about. I did enjoy it, but there were parts of it that really didn't work for me. But overall, I did like it, so I'm curious to see if I'm gonna like this one. Now I have to watch an ad before I can spin the wheel more times. Okay, we're back in business. Book number 6. We got 8. Another pink one. Okay, next. This was like kind of a cheat. I'm counting this as a series that I'm continuing, okay? I don't have the physical book with me yet. You better believe I will be ordering it as soon as I finish filming. It is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I just read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. Aaron and I actually did a little summer beach read vlog, and I read Just for the Summer in that vlog, so you can check that out if you want to see more of my thoughts. But I really, really liked it, and I'm dying to read more from her, so I'm really glad that I pulled this card. I'm really excited for this book. I am reading them out of order. I mean, it's not really a series, but they're interconnected, you know, and you're supposed to start with Part of Your World, and I skipped to the third one. But I think that's fine. I don't think it's going to mess up my enjoyment of the book, and I still really want to read it, so it's happening. Book number 7. Number 10. Oh my god. Okay, we're getting a lot of pink ones, and I was hoping to, get through some of the older things on my TBR, but it's fine. I'm sure it'll all shake out. Next, we have probably the book I most wanted to read. So that's lucky. It is Gideon the Ninth. I picked this up a little while back, and I seriously think this is going to be a 5-star read. It's an adult sci-fi fantasy book about lesbian necromancers in space. I'm sure you've seen that tagline attached to this book. It sounds good, okay? It sounds interesting. It sounds unique. It sounds exciting. There's a lot of politics in here. I've heard it's a little bit dense, which is a good thing for me. I like a book that's a little bit dense. So yeah, I think I'm going to love this. I keep losing count. All right, now we're on 8. Card number 7. No, it's another pink one. Okay, well, that's just how the cookie crumbles. For the next series that I'll be continuing, it is the Exogenesis series. I just started this last week. I read Dawn. It's by Octavia E. Butler. Dawn is the first book in the series, and it blew my mind. It's crazy. I'm still thinking about it. It's so weird. It's basically a First Contact sci-fi series, okay? But it's so much more than that, okay? It's crazy. It's disturbing. It's a good one. I have loved everything I've read by Octavia E. Butler, so I'm definitely excited to continue that series. So book number 9. 10. Oh my god. Another pink one. Fate wants me to read the newer TBR books. The next book is The Lost Dreamer by Lizz Huerta. I picked this up at the Scholastic Book Fair, and it's the first in a duology inspired by Mesoamerican mythology. Sounds cool, right? And it's YA. There's a chosen one trope. I think this is going to be a hit. And a quick read, which with a chunky TBR like this, we need some quick reads in there, And the final book on my TBR will be number 8. Okay. And lastly, I drew the prompt for a book that I loved as a kid, and I've decided to reread Abarat by Clive Barker. This was one of my favorite books as a kid. It's so unique and imaginative. The art is just bonkers in a good way. And it's a super nostalgic read for me. I haven't reread it in years though, so I think this is going to be so fun to read. I might read this first because I just think it's going to be so fun. And it's full of illustrations and it's like crazy imaginative. If you know Clive Barker, his works are unlike anything else. They're just so unique. And I know that this series is not finished, which is a bummer to me. I wish that he would finish it. Maybe he will eventually, but it's been a long time, I think, since the second one came out. But it's still enjoyable, even if the series never gets finished. So yeah, I'm gonna reread this for my book I loved as a kid prompt. Exciting update, I have made the possibly unhinged decision to go to Barnes & Noble right now and buy the other books that are on this TBR. Because a lot of them are for series that I'm in the middle of and I don't have the next book yet. And I want to get started immediately. So I don't know why, I don't need to justify this to you guys. I don't know why I'm explaining myself. You guys get it. I need to go get the books. Let's go. I'm back. That was honestly like the fastest Barnes & Noble run I have ever made. I did not browse, I did not look around. I went straight for the TBR books, made a beeline for them, and I got them all. And I live really close to a Barnes & Noble, which is so convenient. So the whole thing took me like 30 minutes, and I got them. So we now have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, and then this is the Exogenesis series by Octavia E. Butler. Apparently, this series is also called Lilith's Brood. Do I have a lisp? Lilith's Brood. So this is like a 3-in-1, so that's nice to have. And then the Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. Look at this cover. And Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Oh, so excited. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little impromptu shop with me. I'm so excited. I can't wait to read these. But anyway, let's jump back in time. Go ahead and roll the outro clip. All right, well, that wraps up the TBR. That's 10 books for me to read in June. I mean, I'm laughing at myself now for saying that I would be getting through the books that were older on my TBR because half of these, over half, 6 out of 10 of these were pink cards, meaning I just added them this month. But whatever, you know, that's how it goes when you let fate decide, right? So I think it's going to be good. And no matter what, these are books on my TBR that I've been dying to read. So it's going to be exciting regardless of how long I've been waiting to read them. Okay, thanks for watching, and like the video if you liked this video. Leave a comment and recommend a book for me to add to my backup mug jar thing. So next month, if I need to pull a backup, I can pull out a recommendation from one of you. I would love that. So leave your recommendations in the comments and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We so appreciate it. And until our next video, see you soon.